Hello, Junko and Ace9. Hello. Okay, so today we're going to be doing more 60 words per minute dictation and a bonus 100 words per minute dictation. Maybe one, maybe two, depends on how I feel. Because yesterday when I was practicing, I decided to try 100 words per minute drills for 30 minutes. And I was keeping up pretty well as with 60. So I do believe I'm at 100 words per minute now, which is nice. It's nice to know that I'm getting faster. Okay. Now let's bring up the video. This one is class number 7, 60 words per minute drill. Okay, I have everything. Dictionary. So look up. Okay, I have everything set up on my screen.
Welcome. This will be some practice drill.
Damn, I'm already fucking up. What the heck? Why did it come out as we come?
Drill material and welcome. This will be some practice drill material, and this material is focusing on cities and states, and there'll also be zip codes, so we'll get a little number practice in there as well. Okay, so just some drill material focusing on cities, states, and zip codes. Here we go. So we'll get a little number practice. And there'll also be cities and states, and there'll also be zip codes. So we'll get a little number practice in there as well. Okay, so just some drill material focusing on cities, states, and zip codes. Here we go. And drill is focusing
Since I'm trying to
cities,
create a whole document full of these,
and
I need to go back repeatedly because I'm not that fast. I'm not that fast
as well. Okay, so there'll also cities and states, and there'll also be zip codes, so we'll get a little number practice in there as well. Okay, so just some drill material focusing on cities, states, and zip codes. Here we go. Montgomery, Alabama. Zip code, so we'll get a little number practice in there as well. Okay, so just some drill material focusing on cities, states, and zip codes.
Oh my god.
Just some drill material focusing on as well. Okay, so just some drill material focusing on cities, states, and zip codes. Here we go. Montgomery, Alabama. Focusing on cities, states, and zip codes. Here we go.
Finally.
Montgomery, Alabama.
I don't know how to write that.
93614.
93614.
Juneau, Alaska. 99801.
I don't know how to write Alaska.
Denver.
Alaska. It's ALS. Oh, I thought it was something like that.
99801. Denver, Colorado. 80213. Washington, D.C.
Is it WADS?
20001.
Washington, D.C. It's WAD, not WADS.
20001.
Guessing these are real zip codes.
Honolulu, Hawaii. 96811.
Honolulu. Honolulu. Well, I should have been able to guess that. Hawaii.
Eight 96811. Indianapolis, Indiana. 462.
How do I write Indiana?
Four nine. Frankfort, Kentucky. 40601.
Kentucky. It's Cuck.
40601. Boston, Massachusetts. 02154. Jackson,
Jacksonville?
Mississippi.
Oh.
39223. Lincoln, Nebraska. 68502.
What? What?
68502. Concord, New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. Noom. That's New Mexico.
03301. Raleigh, North Carolina.
North Carolina. These ones I can't remember at all.
27633.
Okay, what's the next one?
Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Seven 3141.
At least I'm getting the numbers right.
Providence,
Rhode Island?
Rhode Island.
I don't know how to write there.
Zero 2903. Austin, Texas. 78722. Olympia, Washington. 98501. Victoria, British Columbia.
Columbia.
Right, we'll stop there and let's go back. I'm just going to read just the states now, okay? Just run through this. Right, we'll stop there and let's go back. I'm just going to read just the states now, okay? Just run through the states. Here we go. Alabama, Alaska, Colorado, Hawaii, Indiana, Kentucky, Massachusetts, Mississippi, Nebraska, New Hampshire, North Carolina, Oklahoma.
Where's North Carolina again? Oh. Oklahoma too. I think it's this? Yeah.
Rhode Island, Texas, Washington,
She missed on Washington.
all right. Now let's just practice some numbers.
Numbers.
Some number practice here. Here we go. 14, 33, 48, 57, 91, 69, 32, 45, 23, 49, 34, 89, 76, 17, 91, 6,000, 211, 347, 1,146, 3,289, 478, 890, 483, 799, 246, 523, 493, 4,611, 8,932, 4,600, 4,611.
Oh, got confused because comma.
8,932. 7,824.
Sounds like it's it.
All right, that concludes our practice.
Okay, let me go back and fix that. Montgomery. Juneau, Denver, Washington, Honolulu, Indianapolis. Frankfurt, Boston, Jackson, Lincoln. Right, Link. Oh, should have figured that. Raleigh. Raleigh. Huh. I was pretty close. Olympia. Olympia. One of those. Difficult to write. Victoria or Victoria. That was an entire 11 minutes, 30 seconds. It didn't feel like that. I'm adding this to my big old transcript file. Focus of the class was cities, states, zip codes, numbers. Next one is going to be, I think, lit, jury charge, and literary. Okay, let's start up the video.
Welcome. Welcome. This will be a practice jury charge. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
There must be a good deal of evidence to present at trial to the jury that the jury can understand. Evidence may exist, but may not be sufficient enough to convince a jury beyond a reasonable doubt. The evidence may also be so complex that it is difficult for the jury to understand. The attorneys must be able to take evidence that is difficult to understand and to present it in such a way that common people can review it and understand it. The evidence must be presented in such a way that the jury understands it. An attorney must not only have sufficient evidence, but evidence that is presented in an understandable format. The attorney must present this evidence in a reasonable manner. The skill of an attorney lies in his ability to present the evidence to the jury in the best way. Often it is not the evidence itself, but the attorney's presentation of the evidence that wins or loses a case. The state may not have much evidence, but the attorney representing the state may be able to make the case.
Thank you for the lurk.
The attorney must be able to understand the difference. The state also must present to the defense attorney any evidence that it may have that would help the defendant's case. If the state has phone records that shows that the defendant was on the phone talking with someone at the time the crime occurred, it must share that evidence with the defense.
That it should. Okay. I'm trying so hard, but there are some words that I just don't know, like sufficient. Sufficient. Fish. It's suffish. Fish. Difference. Never seem to memorize difference. I wrote it correctly once, but that it may. This paragraph goes round and round and round. I didn't realize it until I started reading it, but it's like the attorney must present evidence. The evidence must be understandable. The attorney must present the evidence so that it is understandable to the jury. The jury must be able to understand the evidence. The state may
the best way. Often it is itself, but of the evidence of the loses a case.
Okay, what does it say here?
The state may not have much evidence.
Okay.
The was with
okay.
The defense.
Yeah, finished it. 60 words per minute is so slow, but it's so easy to do it wrong.
All right. A little bit of literary practice. Okay, here we go. No one had done that before. Babe became the king of home runs. In that year,
Excuse me, is it home run one word or home run two words? Let me look this. Run one or two words? It's two words, home run.
something bad happened to baseball. Fans were excited about the World Series. They wanted to find out which team was the best. The Chicago White Sox or the Cincinnati.
Chicago. How do you spell that? How do you write that? Chick. No asterisk.
Reds or the Cincinnati. The Chicago White Sox or the Cincinnati Reds. But some White Sox players cheated. People all across America found out. People were shocked. Many fans stopped going to the ball fields. A boy saw his favorite White Sox player. Say it ain't so, Joe, the boy cried. But it was so. People just didn't trust baseball anymore. Baseball needed someone who could make fans care again. But who was big enough to save baseball? Babe Ruth. That's who. In 1920, something good happened to Babe Ruth. Babe went to play for a new team, the New York Yankees. Babe knew that meant no more pitching, just hitting. Babe met
Yankees? What is Yankee? I thought I was writing it like that.
That meant the New York Yankees. Babe knew that meant no more pitching, just hitting. Babe met his new teammates.
Boo, New York Yankees.
In New York City. I'm Babe Ruth. Let's play ball, he said. People wondered, could Babe hit
You're a New York Mets
29
fan. I didn't know there
home
was such fierce competition
play
between
ball,
the two.
he said. I'm Babe
Slowed me
Ruth.
down with the quotations.
Let's play ball, he said. People wondered, could Babe hit 29 home runs again? I'll hit 50 this year, he promised. Impossible, people said. The season started. Game after game, Babe clubbed home runs. The more Babe hit, the more people paid attention. That Babe Ruth sure can hit, they said. Newspaper boys shouted out the news. Babe hits another. Yankees win.
Did they shouted out the news or did they shout out the news?
The newspaper boys shouted out the news.
Okay.
Babe hits another. Yankees win. And Babe was right. He hit.
Oh my god. Sometimes I just forget how to write something. Like, I just forgot how to write another. It doesn't help that my fingers are so sweaty.
And Babe was Yankees win. It's another. Yankees win. And Babe was right. He hit a lot more than 29 that year. He hit 54. Wow, Babe Ruth really keeps his word, people said. Babe was changing people's minds about baseball, and Babe's home runs changed baseball. Now every team tried to hit more home runs. Other players even tried to copy Babe's swing. That meant more runs and more excitement. Babe loved children, so he did something fun for them. He signed hundreds of baseballs.
Oh, sounds like that's the end of that one. Cincinnati. How do I write Cincinnati? Do I even know how to spell Cincinnati? There. It's two N's, it's two N's in the middle and one T at the end. Since and at E. What are those? These city names end up being the toughest things to write because they're broken up into such strange parts. I was pretty close. Okay. Cincinnati. Didn't know how to spell until I moved here. White Sox. Say it ain't so, Joe, the boy cried, but it was so. That's some clunky writing. You are a Cincinnati guy.
All right.
Hit that microphone once more.
Continuing story of Babe Ruth. Continuing story of Babe Ruth. All right, now we'll do a little bit more jury charge practice. Excuse me. Story of Babe Ruth. All right, now we'll do a little bit more jury charge practice. Excuse me. Okay, let's see.
100.
Here we go.
Here we go.
In their opening statements and closing arguments, the lawyers talk to you about the law and the evidence. What the lawyers say is not evidence, but it may help you to understand.
Okay, what just happened? Okay. My dictionary, it has different it has really strange phrasing. So I end up with a lot of conflicts and word boundary issues, which is when you're writing something and then it comes into conflict with something else in the dictionary. So it either comes out as just steno, raw steno, which is called an untranslate, or it'll turn into something else. Like, it's supposed to be it may, but it turns into the may. So I have to fix that. Otherwise, it'll come up again. Okay, what is happening? It may. Did it not save in my dictionary? Oh, I put it as it pay. That's why. There.
But it may help you to understand the law and the evidence. You are to determine what the facts in the case are from the evidence produced in court. If the court sustained an objection,
you gotta look for real. Gotta go to the grocery store.
Lawyer's question.
Have a nice time at the grocery store. Hope you get some delicious produce.
The evidence produced in court. If the court sustained an objection to a lawyer's question, you must disregard it and any answer given. Any testimony stricken from the court
cheese, batteries,
record
coffee, and psych meds. Hallelujah.
Must not stricken from the court record. Must not be considered. The law does not require a defendant to prove innocence.
Hell yeah.
Every defendant is presumed by law to be innocent. You must start with the presumption that the defendant is innocent. The state has the burden of proving the defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. This means the state must prove each element of each charge beyond. Must prove each element of each charge beyond a reasonable doubt. In civil cases, it is only necessary to prove that a fact is more likely true than not, or that its truth is highly probable. In criminal cases such as this, the state's proof must be more powerful than that. It must be beyond a reasonable doubt. Proof beyond a reasonable doubt is proof that leaves you firmly convinced of the defendant's guilt. There are very few things in this world.
I'm zooming. Thank you.
In this world.
Hello, Katrina.
That we know with absolute certainty, and in criminal cases, the law does not require proof that overcomes every doubt. If, based on your consideration of the evidence, you are firmly convinced that the defendant is guilty of the crime charged, you must find him guilty. If, on the other hand, you think there is a real possibility that he is not guilty, you must give him the benefit of the doubt and find him not guilty. You must not consider any statements made by a defendant to a law enforcement officer unless you determine beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant made the statements voluntarily.
Voluntarily. I got that one wrong just now. Voluntarily? Voluntarily? I don't know how to write that one. Voluntarily. Is it in my dictionary? It is, actually. It's in my dictionary as voluntarily, like that. Ah. Okay, necessary. I keep getting necessary wrong. Necessary. I'm getting it wrong. Presumption. That must be in the dictionary, right? Presumption. Presumption.
All right, that will conclude our practice for today.
Yeah! Is it white socks with a CK or with an X? I feel like it's with an X. Yeah, it's with an X and it's separate. Let me just separate these into paragraphs. Some more quotation marks. Wow, Babe Ruth really keeps his word, people said. Babe was changing people's minds about baseball. Babe's home runs changed baseball. I didn't realize how bad the text was until I started trying to separate it into paragraphs. Is there a key on the steno machine that does paragraph breaks? Oh yes, it's it should be in your dictionary for lapwing. I'm not sure what it is on lapwing. It's probably RR. Yeah, the key should for Phoenix it's RPN. I forget how it's spelled. Let me look it up. Oh, okay. It should be pound return. It worked? Oh, there it is. You did it. Yeah, it's very handy being able to do paragraph breaks with your machine or your keyboard. The suggestions. Moving things around. Okay, let me add this to my big old document full of transcripts. Video transcripts. Okay, this one was mostly legal terminology and Babe Ruth baseball. But it didn't have any specific baseball terminology. It was just literary. Okay. Oh yeah, they're probably what are they called? Cow emoji. That's what they're called, cow emoji, because they're little faces. Okay, the next one is Q&A. Make sure to give the video a little like. Okay, we're on video 33 now. It really is true. The more you practice, the better you get. As painful as it is to admit, if you do it, you'll get better. Yeah, it is really satisfying too.
Welcome to Q&A practice. Let's do a little two voice here with the defense attorney and the witness. Okay, here we go.
Defense attorney.
Were you and your husband talking as you proceeded from the dentist's office to the car? I don't remember that. And
Dentist. Why isn't it coming up? Dentist. Oh, okay. I wasn't expecting that.
when I don't remember to the car office to the car. I don't remember that. And when you reached your car, did your husband help you in the car? Or what did you do? No, he didn't. I just got in the car.
Strange question.
Did you get in the car on the passenger side of the car, on the yes. You entered from the curb side of the car. Yes. Did you notice any traffic proceeding north on Lincoln Boulevard at the time? I didn't notice. Did you notice any traffic of any kind? Well, there was traffic. Do you know which way it was going, or were you aware of it?
That
The
starts at 1 minute.
traffic was going north. And what did your husband do upon reaching the car? He started around to get in the car on the other side. Did he go in front of the car or in back of the car? He went in front of the car. What is...
Okay, we'll be right back. Ad break. And also, there's a bunch of toys outside. I forgot to put up the BRB screen, so it just looked like I was like talking to myself for the past 3 minutes, making faces at the webcam. Okay, let's continue.
Is your husband's first name? Lawrence. Did you observe your husband going in front of the car, or were you entering the car at the time? I wasn't paying attention to him. And when did you know that there had been an accident? I heard it hit. What did you hear? I just heard a thump. Where were you at the time? In the car. You were already in the car, seated? Right. Had you closed the door? Yes.
Oh, it looks like that's the end of that. What a weird transcript. Warren. I'm curious about the accident. Did the accident happen to her husband while he was getting in the car?
All right, let's do a little voice practice now.
I always get practice wrong the first time.
And it looks like we're going to start with the witness. Okay. Here we go. The only thing that is helpful for these individuals, if they're going to go out to a facility, a sensitive needs yard, where they have the freedom of movement instead of being confined to a cell 23 hours a day, and that's what they're going to receive. They're not getting no attaboys or extra food or extra money, or we don't pay and we don't make promises to these individuals. Do you recall any officers coming out with a tape recorder and taping?
Do you recall is not on my deck. Add it. Do you recall? I'm surprised it hasn't come up yet.
With a tape recorder out. Any officers coming out with a tape recorder and taping your statement at that time? No. Okay. I am going to do something. I want you to listen to something real quick and tell me if you recall what's on this tape. If you can identify the voices on the tape. Your Honor, may we approach? Yes. My concern is that I was not aware that he was going to play the tape. Honor, may we approach? Yes. My concern is that I was not aware that he was going to play the tape, you know, and I'd like in front of the jury. Yes, I would like to review. You're aware of the tape? Yeah. Your objection is playing it in front of the jury. 2. You're aware of the tape? Yeah. Your objection is playing it in front of the jury to refresh his memory? Yes. The reason you are playing it to refresh his memory? Correct. He has a point. Do you have a pair of earphones he can listen to? Judge, the entire tape is his memory? Correct. He has a point. Do you have a pair of earphones he can listen to? Judge, the entire tape is going to come in front of the jury. He already said he can't remember specifically what he said to the police officer or even having been taped. We play it in front of the jury. He has a transcript. I can make a copy of the transcript for each of the jurors if the court requests. Procedurally, I am on all fours with the law. I can play the tape.
I'm on all fours with the law? What does that mean? What does that mean? I'm confused by this choice of words.
All right. And that last sentence, he says, procedurally, I am on all fours with the law.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if that means he's begging. I guess.
She's confused too. That's hilarious. Okay, the same question I was having. She also was like, I don't know what that means. Maybe he means he's begging.
All right. On that last sentence, he says, procedurally, I am on all fours with the law. I don't know if that means he's begging. I guess. Because all fours, it's F-O-U-R-S, with the procedurally, I am on all fours with the law. I don't know if that means he's begging. I guess. Because all fours, it's F-O-U-R-S. So, all right. Well, thank you, everyone. That will conclude our... So, because all fours, it's F-O-U-R-S. So, all right. Well, thank you, everyone. That will conclude our practice for today. Yes. So, all right. Well, thank you, everyone. That will conclude our practice for today. This is a 60 Q&A.
Bit of very end of that.
Everyone, that will conclude our practice for today.
I thought she stumbled over that. Procedurally, I'm on all fours with the law. Please, I am on all fours for the law. With the law. I'm on all fours with the law. So the law is on all fours with me. I'm never going to be able to get over that. What does that mean? Okay, let me add this to my big old document. Okay, we're doing the test next. This is video 34.
This is a 60 Q&A test, practice test. And we will start the test with the plaintiff attorney. Here we go. You said earlier that you may have mentioned to her that you suspected fraud, but you didn't know for sure if you mentioned that to her. Correct. I believe I did. You did what? Mention that to her. I believe I mentioned that to her. Did you discuss your feelings with anyone else? I may have mentioned it to her husband. Would anyone have mentioned your suspicion to anyone at your company? No, I don't believe that was possible. Would your wife have mentioned your suspicion to anyone at your company because of the divorce proceedings? I don't believe she would have done that. Why is that? I don't think that she knew anyone there. Do done that. Why is that?
I'd say that.
I don't think that she knew anyone there. Do you think she knew? I might have mentioned it to her.
Word mention is getting a lot today.
Was someone handling your divorce at the time? My attorney, John Horn. Did you discuss the fraud with him? No, I didn't. He is an attorney. Didn't you think about discussing it with him? He is a divorce attorney. You were not too concerned about the fraud at first, correct?
I was right concern again. Okay, it is Kern.
Was at too concerned about the fraud at first, correct? I was concerned about it, but I had other issues to deal with in my personal life. And when did Bob decide that it was no longer going to support your leave of absence? About a month later. You were told that you no longer had a position, correct? And that I had to pay my loans. They paid for your courses, even though you were not employed there. I was responsible for paying back my loans because I left. How long had you worked at the company? I was starting my 3rd year. How much of your tuition was paid for by the company? They paid for all my business courses. Were these courses for your job? Yes, they were required for
And that's it? Okay, that's it. It really ended abruptly.
Alrighty, that was a 60 Q&A practice test. Let me give you the word list. John Horn, capital John, new word, capital HOHN, Horn, capital JOHN, new word, capital HORN, John Horn. Bob, capital BOB. And it looks like that's it for the word list. So again, that was a 60 Q&A practice test. Thank you. Well, I wanted to give you
The tips of the day always take me a while to write because there's so many words. So many words. Tuition. Paid. I would have gotten this correct, huh? I would have passed the test. Okay, let me copy and paste the next one. Tip of the day. Sit up straight. Ooh, did I forget to... Yeah, I forgot to show the video. Well, it's good because I was going to have to unshow it anyway. It's so ironic to be listening to that because I currently have one of my legs up while I'm sitting. Up on the chair. So I'm sitting half cross-legged, which is not proper posture. Not at all. Okay, we're going into class number 8, so I'll move on to the 100 words per minute class. That might be fun. Testing myself at 100 words per minute. Since I'll be ending stream in 30 minutes.
Hello, welcome to the drill section for the 100 class. We're going to start out with some most frequently used words, and then I'm going to read you a letter regarding those words. Oftentimes it's the small words that we miss, so these are really important, and just focus on writing these accurately. Okay, here we go. We've got up, day, much, honor, order, yours, now, well, them, see, go, what, were, know, how, did, think, come, hear, her. And here is your paragraph. What was the outcome of her dispute with the department store? Did she receive her order on time? Or was her order delayed a day or two?
Whoa, the audio is so blown out.
Of her paragraph. What was the outcome of her dispute with the department store? Did she receive her order on time? Or was her order delayed a day or two? How much did they charge her? Well, please see if you can answer my questions. I think the original suppliers were at fault, and it is up to them to honor the original offer made to her. Now, here is a copy of the order in this email. As you can see, no one has signed the original. The copy is for your file. Please go over it carefully and try to come up with a solution. Okay, my next drill for you is
okay, wait a second. Original. There are two ways to write that. Ornal or ornal.
Phrase review.
Phrase review.
I will give you the phrases and then I will read you the paragraph. Here we go. Is it the? This is, to be, to the, had you will, with you, that the, with us. Ready? We plan to be waiting in Department 4. This is where we plan to meet with you. Is it the same area where you will be waiting? We will look forward to your meeting with us. I hope that the meeting will be short but informative. Had you given any thought to where we will be staying during our visit? This is our first trip to the area. We heard that the Regency is a first-class hotel. Okay.
Hey.
I'm going to give you a brief drill. I went over this in the tip for the day. We're going to first start out with the freeway, driveway, highway, roadway. And again, that's a family of briefs. Okay, so we've got freeway, F-R-O-I, driveway, D-R-O-I, highway, H-O-I, roadway, R-O-I. Okay, now I'm going to read those a few times and you listen and then write the word that you hear, okay? Freeway, driveway, highway, roadway. Freeway, driveway, highway, roadway. Notice that anything with the way is the O-I. Driveway, highway, freeway, roadway. Roadway, driveway, highway, freeway. Driveway, freeway, roadway, highway. Again, write those down and practice those on your own time as well.
I don't have those
You're
as
going
breaks.
to hear those often with car accident cases. Okay, my next drill for you is going to be words that have the ending of thing, body, somebody, anyone, anybody, someone, everyone, no one, nothing, nobody, something, everything, anything. Okay, again, these are often words that we will write incorrectly or mix it up with another word. So really try to focus on your accuracy. Here we go. Here are your sentences.
Okay.
Ready? Is everything all right? Everything is ready for the party. There is something missing from the safe. Do you have something that will stop the bleeding? Is there anything we can do for you? There isn't anything left in the freezer to eat. It seems like nothing ever works. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Everybody has a driver's license. Is everybody in their seats? Nobody at the house answers the telephone. There is nobody to blame but yourself. Is anybody home? Is anybody available to make or take the deposition? Will somebody please call an ambulance? Somebody left the door open. Is anyone interested in the product? Would anyone be willing to go to the store for me? Someone called the doctor at 5:45 a.m. The teacher asked someone to close the door. Everyone is ready for a vacation. Is everyone capable of completing the assignment? No one is in the meeting room at the present time. And there's our phrase, at the present time, T-E-P-T.
Oh, I also have it as T-E.
Okay. I'm going to give you a word drill.
I'm absolutely zooming. Oh, yeah. It's 100 words per minute, too.
And a number drill.
Oh, it's a number drill.
This is very short. Here we go. The plaintiff, Michelle Martin, lives at 18095 Elm Street in West Hollywood. Her phone number is area code 813-955-0082. The defendant, Ronald Johnson, lives at 78424 Wilson Boulevard, South Bend. His phone number is area code 962-320-1193. The defendant, Kyle Carter, lives at 531 East 1st Street in Marshall Heights. His phone number is 541-728-8221.
Slowing down. Slowing down for the numbers.
Okay. I've got some legal terms and a short paragraph for you. You're going to hear clerk, caption, jurisdiction, geographical, document, beneficial, explanation, title, authority, location, venue, summons, specified, particulars, actual. All right, here's your paragraph.
Okay.
All court documents are filed with the clerk of the court. Each document or court document has a title page which contains the case caption. The authority of a court to hear and judge a case is known as the court's jurisdiction. The actual geographical location of the trial is referred to as the venue. When a party is delivered a summons to appear in court, that person must appear at the time, date, and place specified in the summons. A bill of particulars is a detailed explanation of the facts upon which a complaint is based and is beneficial to the defendant. Okay, that concludes our drill section for the 100 class.
Oh! I did that one, the last one, pretty well. I only dropped like 1 or 2 sentences. Okay, how about the Q&A? Wait, did I try the Q&A already? I never like these videos. I always forget to. So I might have done the Q&A already for the first class. I'll try it again. I'll probably forget it.
Hello, this is going to be the Q&A practice for the 100 class. The Q&A is going to start out with plaintiff attorney.
Plaintiff.
Ready? Mrs. Willis, when you went to the Davis department store on the day of the accident, did you go there with your sister? Yes, I did. Did you go up to the 3rd floor together? Yes, we did. And did you go over to the table section together? Yes, we did. Now, while you and your sister were looking at the tables, was anybody waiting on you? Yes, a salesperson was waiting on my sister. Did there come a time when your sister went with the salesperson to the cash register? Yes, she went to the cash register after she had purchased a table. Did you or your sister move the tables at any time? We never did. About how far were the tables from the cash register? About 10 feet. How far? 10 feet. While you were waiting for your sister, did something happen to you? Yes. What happened? A table fell on me.
I don't know how that happened.
Now, when the table fell on you, what was your position in relation to the table? I was standing with my back toward the table. After the table fell on you, what did you do? I turned around and I saw 2 ladies walk away. After the table struck you, how did you feel? I had a terrible pain in my leg. Where did you go from there? We went to the hospital. Is this in the Davis Regional Center? Yes. Did you receive some treatment there? Yes. The nurse put some ice on my leg and they took x-rays. Did she ask you what happened? Yes, she did. And you told her what? I told her what happened. As a matter of fact, she asked you to write out a report as to what happened, didn't she? Yes. Did you write such a report? Yes, I did. Did you write a truthful report? Yes, I did. I am going to show you a paper and ask you to look at it and see if your signature appears at the bottom of the paper. Yes, it does. Okay, I'm going to switch transcripts. This is going to start off with the court. Ready? Please tell the court where you are employed at the present time. Pacific Oil Company, Central Heights Plant on Washington Boulevard in Long Beach, California. How long have you been employed at Pacific? 4 years and 8 months. What are your duties with Pacific Oil? I'm a truck driver. How long have you been a truck driver with Pacific? The total time I have been with the company? Well, were you employed with the Pacific Oil Company as a truck driver on June 28 and on July 1 of 2009? Uh-huh. Yes? Yes, sir. Directing your attention to July the 1st of 2009, did you have a specific route or delivery schedule that required you to make certain stops while driving your truck? No, sir. Did you make a delivery to a John R. Rogers on that particular date? Yes, sir. Do you recall where that was that you made your delivery? At the corner of Main and Harbor. What city is that? That would be Lakewood, I believe. That's in the county of Los Angeles. Is that correct? Yes, sir. Approximately what time did you make your delivery to that location? Between 3 and 3:30. In the afternoon, I take it? Yes. Now, what did you deliver at that location? I delivered a full load of premium octane gasoline. Approximately how much was in the load that you delivered to the station? I metered exactly 7,700 gallons, which means you delivered 7,700 gallons to the station. Is that correct? Yes, sir. Would you tell us what happened when you arrived at the station as best you can recall? Well, I drove into the station, opened the tanks, proceeded to deposit the gasoline, and took the bill into Mr. Rogers for payment. What happened then? Nothing. I finished depositing the gasoline, the normal procedure, and collected the bill. Thank you. Nothing further. Counsel? Thank you. What happened as far as the collecting is concerned? What were you paid? I was given the credit card invoices and the dealer's assistance and a check for the total amount of the bill. Mr. Harrison, I show you People's 16 for identification as previously marked and ask you to examine it carefully and tell me if you recognize that from any prior occasion. Yes, sir. Would you explain what People's 16 is? This is referred to by Pacific Oil Company as a D1. It's the invoice on which the amount of gallons, the price of the gasoline, the total amount of the bill, and any other collections are listed. We have a column that we use when we make the collection on the bill that we enter the total on. The two totals should match. When did you first gain possession of that document, if you did? This document, I received it at the plant before I left with the gasoline. Did you have that with you, this People's 16, when you went to the gas station of John Rogers? Yes, sir. It is required. We always take the paperwork with us. And did you sign that particular document in front of him? Yes, sir. What is the signature on there? The signature is my last name, Harrison. All right, proceed. All right. Is there any procedure that requires Mr. Rogers to sign that document? No, sir. What happened as far as what you did with that document on July 1 at Mr. Rogers' station? After the document was filled in, I gave him the top copy and I returned this to the front desk along with my own copy that I took with me.
Oh.
Okay, that concludes our Q.
Whoa, that's it? I was so focused. Okay. I did notice that I was hitting 100 most of the time. That's a relief. I did try 120 yesterday, and unfortunately I could not keep up at all at 120. Well, I wouldn't say at all. I would say that I got like, I don't know, 75% of the words, and the other 25% I dropped. I don't understand what happened in the first transcript. What does she mean that the table fell on her? Where was the table? How high up was it? Like, was it a table on top of a table? Was it a glass table? But then she didn't say that, you know, she had like glass shards all over her. No, she said that her leg really hurt after the table fell on her. How did the table, and then she says that that two ladies were walking away. So is she saying that two women just threw a table at her randomly and then just walked away? There's something weird going on in that transcript. I don't understand it. Also, I dropped Davis Regional Center. Well, regional. I didn't know how to write regional. Not what I thought. Oh, but I almost got it. It's because I accidentally hit a PB, the PB, the N, the final N, in the middle of that. Otherwise, it would have returned as the regional. Why don't I try the test before I end the stream? Q&A test?
Hello, this is a 100 Q&A test for the 100 class. Plaintiff attorney is Mr. Slater, S-L-A-T-E-R. Defense attorney is Ms. M.S. period, Moot, M-O-O-T. Again, plaintiff attorney is Mr. Slater, S-L-A-T-E-R. And defense attorney is Ms. M.S. period, Moot, M-O-O-T. This is going to start with defense attorney. Ready?
Okay.
Where does Josh Barner live? He lives in the area. How much did you pay him? Paid him about $15 every time we went to town. How many times did you pay him? I had to pay him twice a week to go to town. My daughter was still in school. So you paid him approximately $120, but a little every week? Oh, I'm sorry. I think the question is, what is the total money you paid him? Can you give a figure? I never sat down and figured it out. I just knew I had to pay him. Did you pay him? I had to.
You know what? You know what? I'm gonna restart this.
Mr. Slater. S. Defense attorney is Ms. MS period Moot. MOOT.
Start this.
This is going to start with defense attorney. Ready? Where does Josh Barner live? He lives in the area. How much did you pay him? Paid him about $15 every time we went to town. How many times did you pay him? I had to pay him twice a week to go to town. My daughter was still in school. So you paid him approximately one.
Oh no, an ad break is starting. I didn't realize that. Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna add 30 minutes to the stream, but I'll be right back. Okay.
$120, but a little every week to go to town. My daughter was still in school. So you paid him approximately $120, but a little every week? Oh, I'm sorry. I think the question is, what is the total money you paid him? Can you give a figure? I never sat down and figured it out. I just knew I had to pay him. Can you give me an estimate? Did you pay him a ton of money? Well, no. A small amount? Well, no, I never added it up. So about $30 a week for a few months? Yes. And did you pay him in cash or did you write him a check? Cash, gas, money, food. When you say you paid him $30 a week, does that include the gas money and the food? That's everything, yes. Okay, other than that, have you had any other pocket expenses that you had to pay for? No. Do you have any appointments to see Dr. Anderson? No. Do you have any plans of seeing any other healthcare doctor for the injuries you have from this accident? I would like to, yes. Do you have any current plans? No. Since the accident, have you spoken to anyone who said that they witnessed the accident other than your mother? No. Who is your employer at River Springs Resort? The owner is Steve Tishner. Do you have any medical insurance as part of your work there? No. Have you had to pay for your treatment at urgent care? No. Have they sent you a bill? They sent one for my mom, but not for you? No. What about for Dr. Anderson? Had you had to pay him anything? No. Did you sign a medical lien for him? I don't know what a medical lien is. Is it your understanding that he gets based on the outcome of this case? No. Do you know who's paid him for services? I think my insurance, car insurance. Do you have mid-pay under your car insurance? Mid-pay? That's a term used for medical payments. Car insurance policies would not pay any others unless you have purchased medical coverage. Oh, I'm not sure what's on the car insurance. Have you ever received any bills from Dr. Anderson? No. Who was your car insurance company in August of 2009? It's Safeco. Did you have full coverage? Full coverage. Do you know whether any witnesses gave a statement to the police on the scene of the accident? No. Have you reviewed any papers to prepare for your deposition? No. Prior to this accident, have you been in any other accidents in the last 10 years? No. Have you made any other kind of claims in the last 10 years? No. Since this accident, have you been in any other accidents? No. I think that's it. No questions. Do you want to stipulate or do you want her to come here? Okay, we have a small word.
I would have failed that test so hard. I'm not sure why it exited the playlist. Okay, let's do another drill.
Hello, this is the 100 drill class. We're going to start out with a simple drill.
Simple drill.
It's a most frequently used word drill, and oftentimes those are the words that we tend to miss. Okay, so we're going to start off with this. I'm going to give you a word list, and then I will give you a short paragraph.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. I, the, and, to, a, you, of, in, at, it, for, that, is, your, have, will, be, are, not, as. And here is your paragraph. Will you be able to attend the weekly meeting? It is important that you are there. I am not able to attend because, as you know, I have another appointment at 10 o'clock. For your benefit and convenience, I will leave a copy of the minutes in the drawer of your desk. Please review the minutes before going to the meeting. Okay. In one of the days this week for the tips, I gave you some phrases from the family of at that and so on. So we're going to review those. I'm going to give you some sentences with those. So you're going to hear at that, T-A. At that time, T-A-T. At that point, T-A-P-T. At any time, T-N-T. We have at all times, T-A-U-L-T-S, taltz. At the, T-E. At the time, T-E-T. At this, T-I. At this time, T-I-T, or you can just write it as T, final T. Then we have at what time, T-W-A-T, twat.
What?
And at the present time, T-E-P-T. Okay, so here are your sentences.
Okay.
They were at that location. She was present at that time. Where was he at that point? Come in at any time. Be seated at all times. At the present time, I am unable to attend. Can you talk and read at the same time?
No one can.
At the time, she was on the phone. At this time, I think he was there. At what time did he arrive? I believe they were at this diner. Okay, again, if you struggled with that, then that just means you need to put a little more practice in. Feel free to go back and listen to this recording again and practice it again until you get to a point where you're not even hesitating. You hear it and you write it. That's the goal, okay? All right, I'm going to give you some names and addresses. Here we go. Beverly Schwab, Longview Community College Library, 500 Longview Road, Lee's Summit, Missouri, 64063. Tammy L. Hurley, Box 5, Lusby, Maryland, 20657. Ms. Jeanette Turwey, Box 391, Riggins, Idaho, 83549.
I'm not getting any of these names.
Ms. Sherry Pickens, 8918 South 70th East Avenue, Tulsa, Oklahoma, 74133.
I don't remember how to write Oklahoma.
Okay. My next drill is going to focus on words that end with itty. So instead of having to come back for IT, long E, we can simply use the final T, and then if you can't squeeze it in one stroke, then you can come back for IT, so it doesn't conflict with the. So for example, rarity, R long A, RT, one stroke, instead of coming back for the IT in a second stroke. Brutality, BR long U, come back for TALT, brutality. Okay, cavity, KAV, come back for IT. Really, you could possibly do the VT in one stroke, but in the higher speeds, that's going to be very tricky. So we always recommend that you come back for the IT when you have your fingers in the final V position. Okay? All right, so here are your itty words.
Itties.
Rarity, brutality, cavity, clarity, deformity, density, dignity, fatality, vitality, gratuity, gullibility, infinity, integrity, equity, oddity, intangibility, captivity, futility, insanity, simplicity, gravity, sobriety, commodity, activity, heredity, probability, vicinity, liberality, stupidity, durability, divinity, celebrity, paternity, finality, suitability, nobility, extremity. Now, keep in mind, you don't have to always come back for like a ABLT or IBLT. If you're not a great speller and you're not sure, or you have to pause, then just come back for the BLT. So, for instance, suitability, you can write that as S long UT, suit, and then come back for final BLT. If you're not sure if it's spelled with an A or an I, instead of pausing about it and coming back for ABLT, just come back for final BLT, and then you can put it in your dictionary both ways, and then no matter what, it's going to come up, and it's going to recognize the word. Okay, same with gullibility. If you're not sure if it's spelled with an IB or an AB, you can write it as GUL. Come back for BLT instead of IBLT.
I don't know how to write these words.
So that's just a tip there.
This is my
with the itty words.
Weakness.
Okay.
Ability words.
All right, so we've got time for one more short drill before we end our drill class for the day. I'm going to give you some words that start with they end with the SK, and we write it with FK for SK. So we've got dusk, and some people like to write it as DUS, come back for final K, but this saves the stroke. So dusk, you can write it as DUFK. So the F is taking the place of the S, okay? Task, TAFK. Musk, MUFK. Flask, FLAFK. Whisk, WHIFK. Risk, RIFK. Frisk, FRIFK. Mask, MAFK. Desk, DEFK. Tusk, TUFK. Disc, DIFK. Husk, HUFK. Bask, BAFK. Brisk, BRIFK. Mosque, MOFK. Now, here are your sentences for those. Start off your day with a brisk walk. He has a task to perform. I asked the staff to switch tasks. We should leave for the mosque at dusk. This husk is tough. We should bask in the sun. She didn't want to take a risk. The robber wore a black mask. Now again, if you struggled with those, then write those down and practice those words.
I had trouble with perform.
If you don't want to come back for the final K. And a lot of times that could be a conflict because your dictionary may think that is can, like I can, you can, using the final K. So this also solves that conflict issue. So using the FK for SK words. And in our next class, we'll be going over final MP words. Okay? All right. Have a great day. Hello, this is going to be the jury charge in literary for the 100 class.
Oh, fix the microphone.
Some straight matter. I'm going to read this once at 80 and then pick it up at 100 a second time.
Okay.
Okay, let me give you a short word list. You're going to hear driving, wheels, condition, jump, hazardous, stopping. Okay, here we go. Ready? Driving can be hard if the road is wet or covered with ice or snow. Stopping distances are increased when these hazardous driving conditions exist. When you are driving under these hard conditions, remember that it will take you longer to stop and that heavy braking may result in losing control of your car. If the surface is slippery, avoid any quick movements of the steering wheel. When you apply the brakes, pump steadily and evenly to avoid locking the wheels. Slow down and allow extra stopping time. It just takes a split second to lose control of your car. So be sure that your mind does not wander. You need to keep your attention concentrated on your driving. You should not be tense, but you should be fully aware that what you are doing is driving a lethal weapon. Okay, now I'm going to read this again at 100. Okay, ready?
Okay.
Driving can be hard if the road is wet or covered with ice or snow. Stopping distances are increased when these hazardous driving conditions exist. When you are driving under these hard conditions, remember that it will take you longer to stop and that heavy braking may result in losing control of your car. If the surface is slippery, avoid any quick movements of the steering wheel. When you apply the brakes, pump steadily and evenly to avoid locking the wheels. Slow down and allow extra stopping time. It just takes a split second to lose control of your car, so be sure that your mind does not wander. You need to keep your attention concentrated on your driving. You should not be tense, but you should be fully aware that what you are doing is driving a lethal weapon. Okay. I'm going to give you some jury charge. I will read this at 100. Ready? When injury is done by a vicious or otherwise dangerous animal, the owner is liable to the injured person in a sum that will compensate her reasonably for all detriment suffered by the minor plaintiff as a result from the injury, unless the injured person knowingly and voluntarily invited the injury and brought it upon herself. The principal law does not require you to find the owner negligent. If the defendant was the owner of said dog at the time of the injury and knew the dangerous character of the animal, he becomes liable and an insurer against injury by it. Even if the dog were normally domesticated, if it showed traits which would make it a source of danger to persons who come within its vicinity, it is a dangerous animal within the meaning of the law. If a person knowingly and voluntarily invites an attack by a dog and so brings injury upon herself, the owner is not liable. Okay, I've got some challenging material. The topic is shoplifting. You're going to hear merchants, distraught, professional, security, unique, confused, electronic, epidemic, proportion, shoplifting, prosecution, impoverished, deterrent, censors, observers. All right. I'm going to read this once at 80 and then again at 100. Ready?
Okay.
In today's fast-paced world, merchants face a unique problem, which is almost at epidemic proportions. The problem of controlling and protecting against shoplifting. The shoplifter is not always a professional thief. He may be a distraught and confused housewife, a frustrated teenager, or an impoverished elderly person. Sometimes the shoplifter actually works for the store he is stealing from. In most states, legal prosecution against shoplifters can be a major deterrent to the problem, but the biggest deterrent is the careful selection of security personnel who are trained observers and can prevent the act of shoplifting before it occurs. Shoplifting is now being curtailed in many businesses through the use of electronic sensors and specialized marking and pricing techniques. Okay, so now I'm going to read that same article.
I didn't even get it right
100.
the first time.
Ready? In today's fast-paced world, merchants face a unique problem, which is almost at epidemic proportions. The problem of controlling and protecting against shoplifting. The shoplifter is not always a professional thief. He may be distraught or a confused housewife, a frustrated teenager, or an impoverished elderly person. Sometimes the shoplifter actually works for the store he is stealing from. In most states, legal prosecution against shoplifters can be a major deterrent to the problem, but the biggest deterrent is the careful selection of security personnel who are trained observers and can prevent the act of shoplifting before it occurs. Shoplifting is now being curtailed in many businesses through the use of electronic sensors and specialized marking and pricing techniques.
I gotta mostly write the second time around.
Okay.
Like 50-50 right, honestly.
I have an article here for you.
That was challenging. He was right about that. A lot of big words.
Regarding court reporting.
Court reporting.
And keeping receipts and all of your records.
Okay.
Ready? One subject new reporters seem uncertain about when they first enter the workforce is what type of records to keep. Your first year of reporting is a very exciting and sometimes overwhelming time. But by keeping good records, you can avoid a lot of stress in managing your work and not panic when tax time rolls around. Your system doesn't need to be complex to be effective. Actually, the simpler your system, the better. One of the first things you'll want to keep track of is your reporting assignments. If you work as an official reporter, you should maintain a computer file containing your daily dockets, which are simply lists prepared by the court staff listing all cases scheduled to be heard on a particular day. Each department in the court system will have its own docket or calendar. Maintain these in a file folder on your computer and label the folders with the dates so you have them in an organized fashion. I recommend against simply saving the docket sheet using different outlines to label these files because they can easily become unorganized and will be difficult to find if you need to pull an old job up. I recommend that you always start naming your files using the date first. That way, you can easily find the job by searching the date. It's much easier to find a file folder from a job that has a practical naming system, especially when you need to verify what proceedings were held on a particular day. Freelance reporters will find it important to maintain a calendar on their computer or phone to record their jobs. You should enter the date and time of the job, the location, the name of the deponent, and the name, phone number, and email of the attorney who has requested your presence. If you accept jobs from more than one court agency, also indicate which agency has given you the job along with the agency job number. Don't delete your calendars at the end of the year. They contain valuable information and should be printed, saved on a disk or flash drive, and stored in a safe but convenient location for easy reference. Both official and freelance reporters will find their workflow much easier to manage by also maintaining a file log of transcript requests. As an official, I used an Excel sheet and made columns for the date a transcript was ordered, the caption, case number, date, and type of trial, the party ordering the transcript, whether copies were ordered, the date the transcript was due, and the date of actual delivery. Deposition reporters should maintain a log with columns tailored to fit the date of the job, name of witnesses, date ordered, date due, date delivered, names of those ordering copies, whether copies were provided. Some busy reporters who find themselves working on multiple transcript requests keep an even more detailed log with columns for each stage of transcript preparation to be checked off as they are completed. It really doesn't matter what Excel sheet form your transcript log takes or how many columns you use. I like the simplicity of a basic sheet. Others may prefer to use a more detailed sheet to maintain their logs. The important thing is to make your log fit your situation so that you can easily keep track of your due dates and monitor your work in progress. Financial records should also be kept throughout the year so that tax time does not become a yearly nightmare. Nothing beats the services of an accountant familiar with the court reporting profession, but it's up to you to maintain records to present to the accountant when the time comes. Of course, you'll want to keep track of your income. The simpler the system, the better. When I opened my depot agency, a more advanced system was put into place, but I have continued to maintain my little basic Excel sheet for quick and easy reference. All right. Great advice there. All right, I have some legal terms for you, and then I've got a couple of paragraphs regarding those legal terms that explain
Legal
them.
terms.
Okay. All right, so we have opening, direct examination, which you can write that as DREX, directs. Cross-examination, I write that as KROX, crocs, cross-examination. Expunged, irrelevant, which you can write as IR or IRT. Overrule, I write that as OFRL. Sustain, you're also going to hear sustained. Colloquy, evidence, you can write that as EFD. Immaterial, IMT. Redirect, recross, witness, and objections. Okay. All right, here is your paragraph.
Okay.
The opening statement to the jury is given by each attorney. Direct examination and cross-examination may be followed by redirect examination and recross examination. Each witness gives testimony under oath. When a witness knowingly gives false testimony under oath, the witness is guilty of perjury. Objections may be raised by either attorney. The judge will either overrule or sustain these objections. The attorney raising the objection may feel that the evidence presented is irrelevant or immaterial. An exchange between the attorneys and the court is referred to as colloquy. Evidence may be expunged from the court record by the judge. Okay, that concludes our jury charge and literary for the 100.
That was tough. Neurodivergent. I'm looking at all of my typos. It's a lot. It's a lot of type. That was a really long paragraph. That definitely was not a paragraph. It was multiple paragraphs. Okay. So let's raid Alice Moonflower. She's currently playing Lost Judgment. Let's see how long she's been live for. 3 hours so far. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow to play more Yakuza 0. That'll be fun. We'll finish Majima sub-stories, and then we'll get into Kiryu's. Goodbye!